Yo, checking in from the wilderness of Colorado, and I just have a thought for you. Would you do this forever? I think playing with our perception of time is really important. It's really important to help us wake up to the fact that we are mortal beings and we have this precious chance to live life, to experience, to grow, to love. But oftentimes we squander it. Like, how often do we live timidly? Do we live half-heartedly? Are we just wasting our time? Or trying to pass the time, maximizing pleasure and minimizing pain? Nietzsche put forth this idea of eternal recurrence, that how we live this life and what we do in this life will repeat on in loops forever. Terrifying notion, right? But it's a thought experiment that really awakens you to, how am I facing suffering? How am I facing the loneliness or the pain of living? What am I making of this life? Stoicism also plays with this perception of time often, this perception of mortality. In fact, at the center of almost every philosophy and spiritual tradition that's worth a damn is the concept of death, is the affirmation of mortality, like the samurais meditating on the fact that they may not see the sunset this evening. The shamans of Mexico, the Toltecs, they thought that death was stalking them and that at any moment death might tap them on the shoulder. The Stoics had the saying of memento mori, remember that you must die. So one day I was scrolling there on Instagram, as we do in the modern day, and this quote passed my screen from Marcus Aurelius, and it said, take a moment to stop what you're doing and ask yourself, is this what I'm so afraid of losing if I were to die? This question really rearranged how I'm approaching life right now. I'm running a new experiment in my life of putting vitality, putting heart, putting life first, and like work and all these dreams and goals and pleasures second, right? It's a new experiment for me because I was realizing that I was spending all this time like writing scripts, and I actually don't really like doing that. I don't really like writing in stuffy rooms by myself and like repeating this pattern. If I were to die, would I miss that? No, not at all. And yeah, there's tedious parts of life. I think the warrior path of how are you going into those tedious parts of life? How are you going into your training? It's how you can best affirm them, how you can best face them. But nonetheless, I think it's so important to ask yourself the question, is this what I'm afraid of losing? And if it is, like right now, meditating out in the wilderness, taking a hike, and then expressing myself in an authentic way, like teaching. I like doing this. I really love this. I would miss this, you know? I think we just got to do more of that. We have so many ideas in our mind of like what we want to do and what we should do. I think so much of it's bullshit, my friends. If you had to repeat this life forever, how would you live it? And if you were to die tomorrow, is this what you would miss? And if your answer is no to that, and you're like, I don't know what I would miss doing, it might be time to go take a hike, to go have a new experience of life, to meditate, to go lift some heavy weights in the temple of iron, to actually come alive in your essence and see what your essence wants to do. We inundate ourselves with pleasures, with entertainment, with distractions, with relationships that aren't a full fuck yes. Like we all do this all the time. And I think there's two steps if we really want to live a philosophically based life. It's one, we must awaken to who we are. And to awaken to our essence is do the list I just said. Is like take a hike, lift heavy weights, meditate, sleep, eat right. Like be alive in your essence. And then follow your essence into life. Yeah, we're gonna have to do tedious things. We all have responsibilities and obligations. Do the best you can. But just don't live your life half-heartedly. Don't live timidly. Live boldly, my friends. You only got one of these things. So let's do it. Thanks for watching. Christian, signing out.